Well, it's November 3rd. I am coming back hunting. Um, I should probably be looking for a buck right now, but I've got daylight does in an area where I've got probably 6 bucks on this property, and none of the bucks on camera is bigger than a year and a half old Basket 7 point. So, uh, we need meat, and I've only got one deer this year. I got daylight does, so let's see what we can do. I'm gonna get back there. I can slip in. I'm just outside of the bedding. I could probably slip in without having to worry about nothing. We got a actually pretty decently heavy wind today, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I've past about 4 nights I've been getting deer at about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I don't know if we can get in the stand and get settled in and not bump nothing. Then I mean we might be able to get deer on the ground. So let's get out there. All right, it's 9 a.m. November 4th. Shot that doe last night. Shot was higher than what I'd like it to be, but I still think I might be a touch under the spine still, so I might have clipped lungs a little bit. That's best chance scenario, or best case, or whatever. Came down, looked for blood last night, couldn't find any blood, which higher shot, I didn't expect much. Shooting a little 2-blade, didn't expect much for blood. Arrow buried up to the nock, so we're at least good there. It's I don't know, it downpoured last night pretty hard, so I ain't gonna be able to find blood even if I want to, but luckily the swamp is so thick that I think that I'm just gonna follow trails and hopefully find an arrow or try to get an explanation, or if I did hit it in the lungs with how thick it is, they don't really run too far. So let's see what happens. I don't know what to think of it. Don't know what to think of it at all. It's hard to, I don't know. We'll see. Let me start looking, and hopefully I can find her. So after a couple of hours of grid searching, going down the trails, I never found her. Still obviously didn't find any blood because of the rain. Never found the arrow. What happened is that because the shot was high, I think that it actually went in on an angle, because the angle obviously I was at, but it went in and went through just above her spine through the back straps, and it ended up holding tight into there. So, I mean, looking at it, what I like to do is, what's your success, what's your failures. Obviously I shot too high on this deer. I didn't mean to put it that high. I was not aiming that high. I think what was happening was, with me with the saddle, I don't do a lot of bending at the hips. I'm kind of curious if when I was inside of the saddle, me not bending, it went up that extra 2 inches or so. I know I was going to hit probably higher lung, but I figured with the angle that it was going to come out perfectly where it was. Maybe that's basically what happened. But in the heat of the moment, it's not like you can analyze every little thing and understand every little thing that's going on. So I messed up. But also with that, I decided to go back to, the drawing board, basically. Like I said, I went back, tried to figure out what was happening, what went wrong, So I started practicing with my bow. Am I off with my bow? Am I not one with it, I guess? With me not having any sights or anything else like that, you really have to be one with your bow. So I started shooting, and in the middle of my practice session, putting good groups together, 20, 25 yards, doing great. I ended up drawing back on an arrow, and when I released that said arrow, my bow decided to break on me. Pretty scary thing. This side's pretty fine, but pretty scary thing if nobody's ever had this happen to them. Draw back mid-shot, and the bow completely snapped on me in my hands. I'm fine. I'm safe. Nothing wrong with me. Just something to freak me out a little bit pretty good. So I have to go to the store and buy me a new bow, I guess. I'm a week left until gun season, and out here looking for a new bow and peak rut time. So let me go and see if I can find a bow, and we'll see what happens. I am heading to the store now. Well, I got some great news. I ended up going to the local bow store and ended up picking me up a recurve. Got me a new bow. Picked up a Bear Grizzly. This is in 50 pounds. And I can tell you right now, I'm already completely enjoying this bow. I was a little bit nervous going from 55 to 50 pounds, but it seems that, that little bit of extra comfortableness for me, if that's what you want to call it. It's just, getting a little bit smoother. It shoots nice. I mean, just a nice bow. So with everything going on between losing a deer, breaking a bow, I mean, it feels good to be able to get into something like this and be able to walk right into it and be able to shoot it so nicely. It means a lot to me because, bow hunting is my life. Archery is my life. So I just wanted to run through everything real fast. Kind of go through everything. So obviously, got the Bear Grizzly at 50 pounds. Like I mentioned my bow before. What's kind of going to be a little bit different for me is that I was shooting 55 pounds before, but also at the exact same time I was shooting a 525 grain arrow. So I was shooting at about 9.5 grains per pound of draw weight. 9.5 grains per pound is what we call it, but it's per pound of draw weight, which that gives you what your trajectory is, obviously, at distance and how much energy speed-wise it holds, for your trajectory. So that other bow, I was only dropping a couple inches at, say, 25 yards, being where it was at. It was a pretty aggressive bow, too. With this bow here, I thought I was going to have to tune some arrows, go and just, I thought I wasn't going to be able to hunt or nothing. So I started grabbing some carbon arrows, started to, go through the process, cut it down a little bit, throw a tip on, shoot it, check and see where I'm hitting and everything. Well, I ended up, by just so happenstance, have my grandpa's 2213s, and obviously you can't change the arrow length on this, but I ended up throwing a 250 grain tip on it, and this thing is shooting beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. However, this arrow weighs 600 grains. So 600 with the 50-pound bow, that brings me to 12 grains per pound compared to that 9.5 from before. So it's a little bit different. But what's cool with that too is that I'm actually, like my sight picture when I'm aiming, I'm actually going from having, an inch above the arrow to now I'm basically just above the arrow. So as long as I can put that arrow where it needs to go and put it right there, and then, I know I'm going to hit a little bit higher than what my arrow is on my point on. That's what we call it for traditional archery. Aim it a little bit higher than what my point actually is. I'm deadly accurate with this bow. First day, within the first 20, 30 minutes with that, sight window being down 15, 20 yards, I'm holding groups. So
it's just a nice feeling to be able to get into a bow like this and to be able to walk right into it. You know, I shoot traditional. I've shot traditional like the last 5-6 years. I shoot instinctively, basically year round for my bow fishing. So it's just something nice to be able to step and walk right into this. Other than that, I figured I'd run through everything. Obviously, like I said, 50-pound bow. Got the arrow, 600 grains. I'm going to end up running my Selway quiver again. I got my slide on here. What's different, completely different about this bow, brand new to me, is I've actually got a Predator custom bowstring on this bow, which you can find them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. My buddy Chuck makes them at Bowhunter World TV. And this is actually, it's shooting very nice. Obviously, I got to have my pink. For those who don't know me, pink is my color. Say what you want, call it what you want. I go to bow fishing tournaments. I wear pink. Pink's my color. So to be able to get a custom fluorescent pink string is another, you know, happiness point to me. But other than that, you know, Predator custom bowstrings. He'll make you, you know, recurve longbow, compound, custom strings. He does Flemish twist too. So if you get the chance, hop on Facebook, hop on Instagram, whatever you guys got. Shoot him a message. Say, hey, Jonathan sent you from BB Outdoors, and hit him up for some custom strings. So he's definitely treated me nicely. He's a friend of mine. If you guys look at his page and look at the Bowhunter World TV YouTube channel, I've been bow fishing a little bit with Chuck for the last handful of years, and you know, he's a good friend of mine. So anything I can do to support him, it means a lot to me. So, but yeah, other than that, I've got, you know, got this bow all tuned up, ready to go. Now, what's cool about this entire thing is that I've got them 250 grain points. I've actually got 250 grain broadheads. I've actually got 3 or 4 broadheads that's at 250 grains. I can sharpen them up, and I can actually be able to go hunting this coming up weekend. Now, obviously, this is a new bow. I'm going to worry about my limitations, but to be able to actually be able to go hunting and not have to be sat down or sat out, whatever, for this time period till gun season hits, I'm excited. I can't wait to get out there. Can't wait to have a little bit of fun, and hopefully, you know, we can get a deer on the ground. It's the rut, the deer are chasing, the bucks are chasing. Funnels are doing great right now. I keep seeing Facebook posts about deer funnels. So people are shooting some really nice deer. But yeah, I'm just excited. So hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully next week I can be able to get a deer on the ground. Definitely be able to shoot one with this bow. And if I'm not comfortable with how everything's performing, I'm not going to push it. I can promise you guys that. I still got a sight and guns. So I'm not going to push it. But if I can do it, I'm going to do it. But I can guarantee you this bow will be set up for December. Because when I head back up to the UP, I'm shooting me a bow or a deer in the snow with my bow. So I don't know. I'm just excited and I can't wait. So I hope to see you guys next week on BB Outdoors. And hopefully it's a lot better than this week. So stay tuned.